Good day, and thank you for tuning in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast. For all of our new listeners and viewers who are tuning in for the very first time, I'm Pastor Pope, Senior Pastor of New Life Christian Center, located at 400 Hillcrest Avenue at the corner of Hillcrest and Marsh Road in Wilmington, Delaware, 19809. We are reopened with protocol. We invite you to come and worship with us every Sunday at 10 a.m. There's parking on Hillcrest. We are the brown brick building located right on the corner of Hillcrest and Marsh Road in Wilmington, Delaware, 19809. I want to say to all of our listeners and viewers, if you're in our area, we invite you to come and worship with us. We invite you to come and experience a better quality of life. We are live in our sanctuary at 10 a.m. starting at 10 a.m. every Sunday. And if you're not in our area, we go live with the Sunday sermon at 10:45 a.m. We want you to experience a better quality of life. So come and be with us at New Life Christian Center at 400 Hillcrest Avenue at the corner of Hillcrest and Marsh Road in Wilmington, Delaware, 19809. I want to say to all of our listeners and viewers, we are here for you every Monday through Friday from 12:30 p.m. until 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, scheduling permitted. From time to time, it might be necessary to be off the air. However, we thank you for reviewing the archives. Every broadcast is archived on Facebook and YouTube live, and also on our app and our website for 365 days. But Facebook and YouTube remain there forever. So go back and view the archives if we're off the air Monday through Friday from 12:30 p.m. until 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, scheduling permitted. We are here for you in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast, to discuss whatever topics you might like to discuss, whatever issues of life you find challenging or that you find difficult to navigate. So, as always, our 3D, Daily Divine Direction broadcast is brought to you by Fiji Water, Earth's finest water. You may already know that Fiji water comes from Fiji. However, did you know that it is created by nature? It is untouched by man. It starts as a tropical rainfall which slowly filters through layers of volcanic rock, where the water collects in a natural, sustainable artesian aquifer where it is bottled right at the source, free from human contact until you unscrew the cap. Fiji Water, Earth's finest water, will be delivered right to your front door when you subscribe for delivery, and you'll save money at FijiWater.com. This is Earth's finest water. And for those of you who continue giving on the give segment of our app at New Life Delaware, and those of you that have made a weekly or monthly commitment by contributing on our website at newlifeministriesinternational.com on the contribution page, we thank you for your support and your commitment. We're here to discuss whatever topics you might like to discuss and whatever issues of life that you find difficult to navigate or that you find challenging, because God is concerned about that which concerns you, and we've made a commitment to God to be here to address those topics. You can discuss careers, finances, entrepreneurship. You can discuss marriage, divorce, raising children, blending families. You can discuss dating and relationships, whatever's in your heart and whatever's on your mind. God is concerned about that which concerns you. So we're here in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast. I'm going to address a communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers who indicated that your daughters are appalled by the way you dress. They say it is not age appropriate. However, you say you're single and you do not want to walk around looking like your grandmother. So listen, let me first of all address the first part of your statement. You want to know, is it inappropriate to dress the way you want to dress? So let me say this to you. Here's how you know when it becomes inappropriate. All you have to do is look around at young people and how they dress. And you have to say to yourself, if your daughters are making a comment about the way you dress, knowing that they dress, young people dress the way they want to dress, and in many cases provocatively, and if they're telling you that they're appalled by the way you dress. There may be something to this. Let me go a little further. The question is about dressing age appropriately. I'm not suggesting that you walk around wearing a burlap sack. I'm not suggesting that to anyone. We all want to look good. We want to live well. We want to be presentable. And that's a good thing, because self-care is important. You're single, I get it. You want to not only be appealing to yourself, you want to be appealing to the opposite sex, because you're interested in dating and someday perhaps getting married again. Okay. So I'm not suggesting that you should cover up everything to the point where no one can tell if you're human or an alien, okay? I'm not suggesting that at all. What I am saying to you is your daughters are looking at you, and you know, I gotta tell you, I was prayerful about this. God allowed me to get a look inside your household. Most of your daughters who are young adults are living at home. So they see you when you go out. I'm gonna get to that in a moment, but let's address the age appropriateness. If you are dressing like your daughters, meaning you're wearing the same type of clothes they're wearing, just in a different size, they have a problem with that because there's a problem. You want to make certain that you aren't dressing like a 21-year-old when you're 44 years old, 45 in your case. You don't want to be dressing like a 21-year-old at 45. Now, you got to remember that your daughters are watching you. So you might say that it hasn't had an impact on them, but part of the reason they dress the way they dress, and I'm not suggesting that that's really inappropriate, because at this point in their lives they're dressing fun, but you know, you want to make certain that you look like their mother and not their girlfriend. You want to make certain that, and I want to say this for everyone, for everyone's benefit. If you can pull it off to wear clothes that are form-fitting but not beyond the fit, in other words, they really don't fit but you're squeezing into them, that's not going to do anything to benefit the psyche of your daughters. So let me kind of walk you through this so that you're clear on something. You can find, how about this? When you go out at 45, you should be dressed as if you're going to the office, professionally and tastefully. You know, your daughters are young enough that when they go out, they're going to wear clothes that are form-fitting and short. Nothing wrong with active clothing and clothes being short. People get to decide. Young people get to decide that. And I'm not suggesting that you can't wear what you want to wear. What I'm suggesting is you should know that whatever you, at 45, whatever you wear out on a date, you should be able to, at this point in your life, you should be able to wear that into the office. Which means dress, pantsuits, or, you know, slacks, or in a blouse. or a suit if you're going to a charitable event, we dress appropriately. Because at a certain point in time, over 40, we got to say to ourselves, okay, it's not appropriate for me to look like my 21-year-old. And the reason is because you're setting a higher standard for them. You're setting an example for them, and then you're setting a higher standard for them. And it should be the same thing about the men you date. First of all, we should be dating with purpose. And second of all, the men you date shouldn't look like their peers. You know, at 45, if you're dating a man who is still walking around trying to look 30, that's not age appropriate either. Now, I'm not saying he can't be as fit as a 30-year-old, in shape like a 30-year-old, or even in physical condition like a 30-year-old. That's something we'd all like to aspire to, because the younger we look and feel, the longer, God willing, the longer we last. But at this point in your life, single or not, you got to know you're setting the standard for your daughters in everything you do. Work ethic, dating, the men you choose to date, finances. You're setting standards. You're the example that they have to look at. And the example that they're seeing is, my mother looks like my girlfriend. My mother's dressing like my girlfriend, only in a different size. That's what they're seeing, and that's why they're saying they're appalled. And it's interesting that he used that word, because most young people don't think in those terms. But they're really saying it affects them to see you dress the way you dress. And I get it, you know, young people don't want to think of their parents as being, you know, sexually active. They don't want to think of their parents as, you know, being, well, I'll stop right there. They don't want to think in those terms, even though it's the reality. Otherwise, they wouldn't be here. But that's just not the way humans are wired. But at the end of the day, if they're telling you they have a problem with the way that you dress, there's probably a problem going on there. And I will tell you, God allowed me to see in that secret place of your lives that there is a problem. You're setting the example, and you're setting a standard. And you don't want to be 69. I think I may have gotten that right. You don't want to be 69 when they're 45 and you having that conversation with them. Because at 45, they're doing the same thing you were doing at 45. Let's really be conscious about what we're doing as adults. Let's make certain that we're doing what's appropriate to enhance the quality of life for our young people. That they have a good example, that they follow our work ethic. Hopefully we have one. We should. You know, I've encouraged everyone on this broadcast to perform at a high level. We should be dressing appropriately. We should be giving them the right example of how to build a better quality of life. It all begins, they're not the problem, looking at you like your grandmother. That's not the problem. The problem is they are really, their psyche is being disrupted by the way you dress. Now, I'm not suggesting that you should walk around with a burlap sack on. That's not what I'm suggesting. I'm just suggesting that you might want to just bring it to a place where your daughters look at you and say, Mom is really attractive. Mom has it going on, but mom's not setting a bad example for us because they're going to do their own thing. But we don't want them doing the same thing at 45 that they're doing right now at 21. This segment of the broadcast is brought to you by T-Mobile, America's largest and fastest 5G provider at no extra charge. So if you are not currently a T-Mobile customer, nor have you been a T-Mobile customer in the previous 90 days, you may call or text on the T-Mobile call or text line at 267-992-1424. We will place you into our queue so that you can become a T-Mobile customer and experience America's largest and fastest 5G provider at no extra charge. Taxes and fees are included in your bill, and if you auto pay by attaching a credit card to your account, you will receive a discount on your monthly bill at T-Mobile, America's largest and fastest 5G provider at no extra charge. I'm going to address another communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers who indicated that you are quite restless and suffering from anxiety. And your sister recommended that you tune in for the broadcast. So welcome. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for allowing us to come into your viewing environment. I want to say, there's a scripture that says, be anxious for nothing. You've got to rest in the Lord. You've got to find your place of rest. And the way that you do that is by not focusing on what's causing the anxiety. What you've got to focus on is what is it that you're assigned to do in your daily life that will enhance the quality of your daily life and your loved ones. That's what has to be the focus. We can't get distracted by things that are really not, things that we are not able to be controlled by us. God is in control of everything. And the problem is that we want to control some things that are not assigned for us to control. Now, I will agree with everyone that there are certain responsibilities that God has assigned to each and every one of us. God doesn't waste time, and he does not expect us to waste the time that he has appointed for our lives, every hour that he's appointed for our lives. There is an assignment from God upon our lives. We have to make certain that we're living within that assignment and that we're not trying to control things that we don't have the power, the wisdom, or the understanding to control. They're not assigned to us. We take on the assignment, but they're not assigned to us. And the things that are causing you to be restless and causing you anxiety are not things that you have any control over. What's real interesting is that when we find our assignment, our purpose for life, our assignment for our daily lives, our responsibilities for our daily lives, when you find that and you focus on that, that's not to say that there won't be some additional things added to your calendar or your agenda that you'll have to take care of. But when you find your purpose, when you find what you've been assigned and you work that purpose and you work on those assignments, whatever God's placed in your hand to control, you will find that you'll have peace. You'll have rest in doing that. Where we get out of our peace and out of our rest and we begin to suffer from anxiety is when we're really focusing on everything else that you're not assigned to control. I'm not implying they don't have anything to do with you, but you are not assigned to control them. We have to focus on what we've been assigned to do. So let me go a little further with this. We all have a job to do. We all have a career. We all have some profession, we all have some philanthropic endeavor, whatever it is that you have that has been assigned to you. We all have that to do every day. We all have that to work on every single day. If you're getting restless and anxious, it's because you've gotten outside of that. You're not focusing on work, you're not focusing on your career, you're not focusing on your profession, you're focusing on other stuff. You're focusing on things that you really have no control over. And that's why those things are causing you to be restless. That's why they're causing you to be anxious. That's why you have sleepless nights. That's why you feel anxiety welling up in you during the day. Because you're trying to control what you cannot control. For some people, it's as simple as believing that they should be doing exactly what has already been done for them or to them. We focus on those things. Those are not things to focus on. We have to focus on building a better quality of life. And that encompasses both our personal life and our professional life. So the things at home that cause you to be restless, to be annoyed, to be frustrated, the things at home that you will get done, you might not get them done in the time frame that you feel they should be done. And so you're causing yourself anxiety. Well, it's the same thing in our career. We think we should be further along than what we should be, but in reality, God has you right where you're supposed to be. And we have to trust God that we're right where we are supposed to be every single day. We have to trust Him. We have to recognize that we're really not in control of anything. That this is not our world. He created this world for us to live in and to fulfill our assignment, your purpose. So you have to find your rest in the Lord. You have to recognize and realize that God is in control of everything. You're just the vessel to fulfill what God has assigned and purpose for your life. You're the vessel for that. No one can be you. No one can do what you do. No one can be who you are. You are assigned a specific purpose. And when you find that purpose, you will rest in the Lord. You can eliminate the restlessness. You can eliminate the anxiety because you know that you're doing exactly what God would have you to do, and you're doing it as unto the Lord. So that's part of the problem. Part of the problem is we want to do things our way. You know, there are people in this world who have had things their way for so long that they think that is the way the world is supposed to be. That the world is supposed to operate on their premise and on their expectation. The world doesn't work that way. We have to have expectation, and we have to have a plan that we can implement a strategy to build a better quality of life. But we've got to accept the fact that everything's not going to go our way. But even when things don't go our way, because we're following the way of God and the will of God, it will go His way. And because it goes His way, it's always going to be better. This segment of the broadcast is brought to you by Charles Tyrwhitt, located in London, the UK. They also have stores in New York, Chicago, Washington, D.C., and at the King of Prussia Mall in King of Prussia, Pennsylvania. So if you are in any of those areas, check for their store hours, stop in at their retail stores. They have everything a man could possibly need. They have shirts for men, ties for men, suits for men, and accessories. If you miss the Charles Tyrwhitt sale for 3 high quality cotton shirts for $69, right now you can order 3 high quality shirts, 3 high quality cotton shirts from Charles Tyrwhitt at $99. So you don't want to miss these sales. There are sales going on and they will change from moment to moment. So, or I should say from time to time. So you want to take advantage of these sales. Go to Charles Tyrwhitt at ctshirts.com if you're not in any of those areas where they have retail stores. And you can order from Charles Tyrwhitt at ctshirts.com. They will ship and deliver right to your front door in an appropriate period of time. And the White Company, located in London, the UK, they also have a store on Fifth Avenue in New York and a store in the Short Hills Mall in Short Hills, New Jersey. So if you are in either of those areas, stop in at the retail stores. They have everything you could possibly need: home goods, clothing for men, women, and children. If you're not in either of those areas, you can order from The White Company at thewhitecompany.com. They too will ship and deliver right to your front door in an appropriate period of time. I'm going to address another communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers who indicated that you are finding these first few months of the year to be exhausting, and you want to now take a vacation, take some time off because things are finally slowing down. Okay, you said it's been an exhausting time. Things are slowing down a bit. You want to know what can you do to keep up and take some time off. So, okay, the good news is things are slowing down a little bit. And you have been working very diligently. God allowed me to see in that secret place of your life. You've been doing everything that needs to be done to be successful, and you've been also listening to the broadcast, and you've been looking at ways to maximize your success. So that's a great thing. But you're exhausted, and now you want to take a little time off. The one thing that I can recommend to you is that what you can do to keep up is just make certain that even if you take a little time off, like you take a long weekend, because you've heard me recommend that before. So if you take a Friday and a Monday, and now you've got a long weekend of 4 days, you've got to realize that as long as you check your email and check your voicemail while you're off, you can survive that time and keep up. It may require you, while you are off relaxing and enjoying yourself, to shoot an email here or there just because you are away from the office. You know, I know people like to put on their automatic message, I'm out of the office, but I don't encourage that, and I'm going to tell you the reason why. Because you don't have to work a full day to just respond to 1 or 2 emails. You'll know if they're emergency emails and they need an immediate response. You'll know that, but you definitely want to at least read your emails as they come in. And check your voicemail. If an emergency arises, place the call. But other than that, take a little time, read the emails so that you can keep up with what's happening in the office, and take a little time for yourself, because you have been working very diligently. See, there's nothing wrong with taking a pause. What we don't want to do is shut down. We don't want to shut down to the point where we're not responding, we're not doing anything, we're just shutting down, because that's where you get behind. You can keep up just by checking your email and checking your voicemail. Check your voicemail once at noon, check it again at the end of the day. You'll know if you need to respond to something. Check your email, throughout the day. You're going to be online anyway, I guarantee you, doing something. So check your email, read your emails. You'll know if you need to respond to anything, but basically you'll be out of the office. You'll be able to relax. You'll be able to enjoy yourself, and then you'll be ready to go. And then, we're almost coming up on the month of May, which Eventually, at the end of May, is going to be Memorial Day, so you're going to have another long weekend, and you'll be refreshed and ready to go. This segment of the broadcast, as always, is brought to you by our sponsor, Fiji Water. A taste of paradise will be delivered right to your front door if you subscribe for delivery, and you'll save money at FijiWater.com.